I saw the Goodfellas gimmick you got over here. Or
Oh, that's here in my bedroom. Yeah.
oh, okay.
You guys
Yo,
know
yo, your wife lets you push shit like that up, man?
I'm
She
telling
let
you.
you she
Yes,
lets
sir.
you be a nerd?
Let me tell you something, man.
She gives
Right,
me the opportunity.
She
all
she
right.
gives you the opportunity. That's all you need, right? Just an opportunity.
Right, brother. Right, brother.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah, no. You guys obviously know how I feel about that movie. That movie's in my top 5 of all time. No question.
Number
Let me
one in
tell you.
my list is No Holds I can't even say
Wait.
I can't even say it
No,
seriously. I
wait.
can't.
Wasn't that movie called No Profits Allowed or something like that?
I guess so.
Yeah, no.
Major bomb. I just do. I
No
can't. I
holds
can't. I can't
barred.
even. I can't even say it. I can't even say it with a straight face. I can't even do it.
No.
I'm trying, but
Hey, that movie made a lot of history.
Yeah.
bad history though. None of it was good.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man.
Ain't none of it good, bro. None of it. I think
No,
we
so
should. I think we should sit down and review that movie one day, just for kicks, just so that we can laugh a little.
Yeah, I have to watch it over again. I mean, I have it on DVD. I just have to watch it over.
And that
hey,
is,
Julio, that's
Yes,
awesome
sir.
because you might be the only one.
you know what, Julio? Let me tell you something. That $5 that you spent on that DVD was $5 too much, bro.
It was. Yeah.
Julio, what was match of the night, brother?
I'm kind of I'm stuck between KO and Rollins, which was uh just a shocker. Couldn't believe it was that good. They told a great story, and obviously the Boneyard match. I thought AJ just passed. He passed his class. Undertaker just gave him that stamp of approval, and I thought he knocked it out the park, and he did great.
Yeah, I agree. Those were the two that stood out for me.
I mean, I enjoyed the Boneyard match. I thought it was, it told a great story, and just the cinematography of it. The fact that they really, it's a nice high def, movie quality, theater quality, cinematography. And on top of it, I mean, they did all the supernatural stuff with the Undertaker. They had the Druids. They had, so many different elements of the Undertaker's past, both in the old Undertaker character and then the American Badass character. And, they blended it in perfectly. And even though AJ took the loss, my God, he came out looking like $1 million at the end of this one. He really did.
Yeah.
So no problems with the supernatural stuff. Is Cornette gonna shit on the supernatural stuff or no?
Well, listen, shout out to Jim Cornette. He's a good guy. I like him. But no, I don't think so. I don't think he should, because it really plays out very well to the Undertaker's character. That's been part of his personality for 30 years on TV with WWE. So to be able to make this match, the fact that this match had to be recorded and it had to be done this way, I think actually added to the match in a way that probably wouldn't have happened nearly as well if it would have been done with a live audience, in a normal wrestling ring setting. I think that the way that this was produced actually amplified the match and made it so much more enjoyable, at least for me to watch, because I think both guys came out looking really good. And, obviously, they feature, Gallows and Anderson. They feature the Druids. They did everything as well as you could possibly expect under the circumstances. They knocked it out of the park. And I just think this came off a lot better than if it would have been with a live crowd, I think.
I agree. It has that it had that horror slasher / demonic feel to it. It had that movie fight to it. I really felt I was watching, like a cross between Halloween and The Devil's Rejects. Like, the good guy versus the bad guys, and the bad guys has his cronies, and it delivered. And I like that side of the Undertaker. I did like you were mentioning, Lou. I did see the American Badass. He kept trash talking, which I thought was amazing. We haven't seen that in years from the Undertaker. Get up, boy. Come on, boy. What I was telling you, boy. And it really delivered. If I had to do on a scale from 1 to 10, I believe this matchup was between a 7 and an 8.5. I thought it was good. The only thing I did not like was the fact that AJ was begging for mercy at the end. I thought that kind of downed his character a little bit. At least that's what I felt. I felt AJ could have just saying, screw you, go ahead, do this. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared of you. That's the only thing I did not like. The one thing I did like was the fact that when AJ had him beat, Undertaker came from behind. That showed that that demonic look to the Undertaker. I thought it was awesome. But yeah, on a scale from 1 to 10, I gave it between a 7 and an 8.5. My only fault for this match is AJ just begging for mercy, which I kind of did not approve.
Yeah, I don't love AJ begging for mercy either, unless we're just gonna keep him a chicken shit heel for the rest of his life, which is fine then, because then that's really how that heel should be behaving. So it's fine. You don't want to see AJ, who's supposed to be a little pit bull, who doesn't give a, who is not afraid of anyone and can take anyone down if he, whatever. He's not afraid. He'll fight anyone, and he'll make it look good too while he does it. But whatever. If he's gonna be heel for a while, for the next 2 years or some shit, then it's okay. I don't mind all the little elements, all the horror elements. It's all good. I don't know if it would have been better than a match with a crowd, but it definitely would have been better than having a match in the ring with no crowd like everyone else did, because you have sound effects, you have music. You heard the sound effects when they were throwing punches.
I thought it was great. Yes.
Yeah, it's really good. It was like a movie, so
I mean,
it was very entertaining, that match. It was very fun.
No, it was definitely entertaining. I mean, I don't know. I didn't have a problem with AJ begging for mercy because the one thing you have to understand too is that if he's the heel and he's been running his mouth, if he continues to be defiant at the end, that's not really something that a heel would do. And in this particular case, it seems like it would be like in wrestling, it would be kind of like bordering, babyface areas. And that's
I agree.
That's not what we're looking to do with AJ's character at that, with this particular moment. Because if he would have just stood there and just been like, yeah, go ahead and do it, then
he becomes Steve Austin.
Stuff, everything that was done prior hand, especially in the Undertaker's comeback to get to that point, it would have fallen flat. So I didn't have a problem with AJ begging for mercy, because the thing is, Undertaker, I love the fact that he was like, no, don't worry about it. Like he played it off. He didn't just go immediately for the kill. He took his time with it. It was done well. So I have no issue with it. Obviously now it's a matter of the follow-up, what's going to end up happening moving forward. And, we may have to wait a while for that one, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with AJ Styles moving forward, after this performance. Because this was a really career-defining performance for him, and he's had quite a few, but this one's up there.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with what you're saying, like, because that kind of continued the story, with him, just begging for mercy. So, yeah, I kind of see it your way, but at the same time, I kind of felt like you make AJ as more like, like a chicken shit after, he did everything in this match and the build up to it. But, I agree with you on that aspect. Yeah, because it would have made him more of a face, like saying, hey, don't kill me yet. Like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he would have. All he had to do was say, "Don't kill me yet," and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that it kind of had that Steve Austin, that WrestleMania.
If he's too defiant,
he did not give up. Yeah, where he did not give up. He said, like you got me, but you're not gonna kill me. Yeah. I kind of agree with you. I kind of agree with Lou on this one. I think it builds him up more.
I'm okay with AJ not being
keeps him keeps him as a heel. In other words.
Oh, absolutely. That's what you're looking for.
I'd like to see him go away for a little bit. AJ, come back, new look, maybe same character, but a little, switch something up.
Edgier.
Yeah.
I know that's been used. that's been used too much. Like
Well,
like
AJ's a really
Trailblazer
good.
has been used too
AJ's
much.
really good, so he's good at everything he does. So he can add little elements.
The
Just
one,
switch some. It could be a little tweak to the character, just to make it keep it fresh.
yeah, I mean, you'd be amazed with a guy like AJ Styles, because right now with this performance tonight at WrestleMania, I mean, what he really did more than anything else was it elevated him now to an upper echelon level, to where AJ Styles is no longer challenging the big star. Now he is by association the big star, and you can put him now in there against anybody, and AJ could be the guy that can help elevate others. So his in-ring talent is second to none. He's fantastic. No one's going to deny that. But now after this performance tonight, he was made. He's a made man after tonight, and what I'm looking forward to seeing him is, you can do nuances with his look or whatever have you, but it's going to be more a matter for me who the next person is that he works with, who he fights, and see where it goes from there, whether he's being put in with one of the established main event guys, or if he's going to be used now to help elevate the guys from underneath and bring them up. And I'm hoping it's actually the latter, because a guy like AJ Styles can elevate a lot of guys underneath and make them look great. And hopefully now, WWE is going to start taking a good look at, some of the guys, really great talents they have underneath that for some reason in the perception level are not, seen as as like main event players.
So in other words, you're kind of want AJ to become kind of like that mid card guy who gets the good guy or the bad guy ready for
not
the top guy. Is that was that what you're implying? Because
no.
I kind of thought that like you were saying not that is a bad thing, but I'm gonna use like kind of like Jake Roberts, like Jake Roberts was that baby face in that mid card and always got the heel ready for Hogan per se. Or Scott Hall was that guy who always kept, who always made the bad guy look and get him ready, for Shawn or Brett.
Not at all.
I don't find anything wrong with that. I think it's great. That's actually a good spot.
No, not at all.
That's what I thought that was the road that you were heading to.
I think AJ's in the same spot we were talking about that Rollins has, although Rollins. No, I think they're about the same, in my opinion. And Randy Orton has that. Anything you need, they can deliver. Nothing's gonna hurt them from now on.
And the one thing is with somebody like AJ Styles is that even though he's worked the main events and he's been world champion, one of the things that is kind of from a perception standpoint may have hurt him recently is the fact that when they reformed the OC with Gallows and Anderson were, from a perception level, were not in a good place. They were really getting beat by underneath tag teams.
Yeah.
So to be able to be in a situation where he can be able to move them up into the next level, it works really well.
Yeah, it kind of it helps.
Your iPad,
they'll get the rub off AJ because they were just at the bottom when it came to tag team division. Them pointing AJ kind of gave that rub to them. So yeah, I agree with that because I think regardless where AJ's at in the card, he's considered a top guy no matter what. At least that's the way I see AJ. I don't see him as always being.
That's good.
Regardless where he is.
That'll last you the rest of the night.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, fellas, we kind of got off guard. We were supposed to start from the first match, and
no, we don't. We're not supposed to start anything. There's no rules. You got a boss?
What we're doing?
You got a boss? Or do we have a director or producer?
No.
Start from the beginning.
No. I was just.
We can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
I didn't know. I thought we were.
There are no rules, brother. There are no rules. This is no holds barred.
Calm down.
All right,
calm down, cowboy.
So you settle down. Settle down. You're lucky that I don't go to Brooklyn right now because there are so many infected people. I'm not going to get my ass over there and get in danger. But if you want to come to the Bronx, brother, and we can have a nice match and a 15-foot high steel cage, brother, you and me, mano a mano, with my manager, the sensational Sienna.
Oh, I'm sorry. I fell asleep. I'm sorry about that.
Oh man, that's horrible.
It wasn't engaging. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's terrible. That's
I do have a question for you, Julio. Why did you
Yeah,
think
what's
that the KO Seth match wouldn't be good? These are
I'm
two
sorry?
of the best workers. Why would you think that the KO versus Seth match wouldn't be good?
I said that. I said that in the first
Well,
video.
you said that you were shocked by the match.
Oh, I just didn't think that they were gonna give them enough time, enough material.
Oh,
I thought it was, yeah, I thought it was just like, hey, go out there. You got 12 minutes. Give it your best, and that's it. Take it home. I'm not
Okay, you
surprised
gotta
because
get headphones.
like you were saying, Vic, excuse me, AJ, because we were talking about AJ Rollins. Whether he's at the bottom, middle, top, whether he does a good job or a bad job, he delivers. The guy can put a show on, whether you like him or not. You guys know how I feel about KO. I think
Right here,
KO,
baby.
they really, really, really told a good story. I noticed in the match, it was just physical. It was just, a punch here, a punch there, a kick, a slam, an elbow. You didn't see any, flip flops, high flying moves. I thought their psychology was just amazing. They told a good story. And Jesus H. Christ, like I told you guys when we were texting throughout the match, Rollins' trash talk was up there. Now, as far as this Christian type character he's doing, I don't know. I have mixed emotions about that. If I rated this match, I rate this match about 7 to an 8. That'll be my rate. Thumbs up on this match. This match was good.
Okay, Meltzer. Rating all the matches, huh? I have to think hard before I do ratings.
Wait. Are we doing low blows now? Come on.
Ooh, easy.
Oh no, I don't want none of that from you, my friend.
Easy.
Let's stay 6 feet apart, okay?
Cheers, brother.
Thank you.
Yo, so
But yeah. If we're gonna rate like the 1 to 10, I'm not doing the stars. I give this match a 7, between a 7 and an 8. I thought this match delivered. They told a good story, great psychology. A KO is just he's fantastic. I love the guy.
no, he's great. That was a fun match. It really was.
I mean, I see now I get what you were saying, Julio. Yeah, a time thing. Normally, under normal circumstances, if it was the regular 7-hour WrestleMania, they probably were not been given a lot of time. But I think everyone got a lot of time today because it's 2 nights, 8 matches per night. That's standard pay-per-view. You can get
9
everyone.
if you include the pre-show matches.
Well, I'm not including the pre-show. Screw them.
All right.
Nah, even though that was a good ass match.
Cesaro and Gulak, they put on a good show. They put on a good show. They really did.
They bust out a couple of tricks too. They were like, "Yo, I don't do this often."
Well, but that's the way that it should be for
Mania.
For the big shows. That's when you pull a jackrabbit out of the hat. But you shouldn't be doing that every week because if you do, then there's nothing to pull out on the big show.
It gets old.
Yeah.
But there's you got to have new tricks in the bag every now and then. So it made sense for the ending that they had in tonight's match. It made a lot of sense.
Yeah. I guess is that saying what Kurt Angle would say, like you give like 25% of your effort at house shows, you give your 75% effort at pay-per-views, and then you give your 100% at WrestleMania. So yeah. Dude, just don't show too much because you'll then, I'm not saying you get exposed, but then it gets tiring after a while. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, I'm not shocked because they were given enough time, and these are under these circumstances, no crowd. When you talk no crowd, Gulak and Cesaro, not a problem.
No.
Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn, not a problem. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, not a crowd. They don't need a crowd. Their work is
solid.
This is some of the best work you're gonna see in the world. So
yes.
If there's any one thing, just in the overall, what I really, really enjoyed about this show tonight, 2 things, and they're subtle, One is that the commentary did not distract from the matches. Generally, when in commentary, there's so many things that need to be, that they're trying to pull the thread on, throughout the
Addressed.
course of the show and addressing it, that sometimes, the announcers will you kind of talk over a match. And I thought that the announcers, all four of them, JBL and Cole together, and then Byron Saxon and Tom Phillips, they did a fantastic job, in telling the stories, sticking with it, and not really getting too far ahead of themselves. It was just they're just calling and talking about what's happening in front of you, which was great. It's a great nuance to the match. Number two is that the performers themselves, knowing that there's no crowd noise. They all were very mindful of talking and really being expressive of all the, like the grunts and the blows and everything. And it added to the match. And it was almost to the point where I actually kind of enjoyed the fact that there was no audience there. I could focus on everything going on in the ring, and it's kind of like it gave me a completely new experience of the actual in ring work. That it was, there's some moments where it's a little silly because you can tell, there's certain moments where it can, there's nothing to hide. There's nothing that they can do to kind of cover something up. But for the most part, overwhelmingly, I thought all the performers, everybody, did a phenomenal job in terms of being able to bring that element, knowing that there's no crowd, with the trash talking and all the emotions and the expressions that are done in the match. I just thought it was great. And the fact that you can kind of hear conversations that the wrestlers are having amongst themselves that you would normally not hear. The announcers would have to kind of cover that up because of the crowd noise. You were able to hear everything tonight, and I thought that was just excellent. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, no, I agree. It had that Joey Styles feel. Like he concentrated on the match and on the match only. He wasn't quote unquote being told to tell stories. So yeah, I agree on that aspect. I did not notice that until now, and you're absolutely right, because I was not hearing anything. Later on to tonight, we're gonna get so and so against so and so. What's gonna happen to tonight when we see such and such beat so and so? But I agree. Yeah, it had that ECW Joey Styles feel to it.
Yeah, it's just traditional. I just thought it was actually really well produced, more traditional pro wrestling commentary in terms of when they're talking about the show, and they billboard, the matches. They talk about them, one by one, but then it's just like when it's go time for whatever match is coming on, they talk about that and they talk about that only. And it's very, very clear to the audience, this is what you're going to see next. This is what we're going to talk about, and we're not going to speak about anything else other than whatever's being presented. Whatever match is coming on, that's what we're talking about.
Focus is the key.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
So what if we're gonna do ratings? What do you guys rate this match?
I can't just. I'd have to watch everything again and really think about the ratings.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not,
But well, the Taker match is difficult to rate. But compared to other matches like that, like a lot of the Matt Hardy stuff, I will tell you this: the timing, the length was perfect. It felt
Yeah.
perfect.
I agree.
It didn't overstay its welcome. But with the Matt Hardy ones, I always felt like, I need 5 more minutes. Damn it! I felt like it felt rushed. The finish, that finish was like, I guess that's why Undertaker did the whole talking shit at the end. Like, okay, here comes the end. Now we're gonna talk about it. And then he had his big moment before he dumps the dirt, and he dumps the dirt on him, and then the music comes on. So that was nice.
Yeah,
I will say that about that match.
Yeah, he really milked it, and just he took his time with it. He let AJ beg for mercy and pretended like, all right, I'm gonna let you off the hook this time. Just don't F with me again, and then bam. That was another point I wanted to bring out during that match. That kind of remind me a lot. I don't know why, but I'm watching the match and I was kind of like I was seeing the Boiler Room Brawl match with him and Mick Foley from 1996.
I can dig it.
I don't know why, but that match just popped up in my head. I said, man, this is kind of like that Boiler Room Brawl with Mick Foley from SummerSlam.
It's because it was eerie. Like
It was
you had like
very
this weird
eerie.
feeling
It
watching
didn't
it, like,
happen in the ring. It happened, you know, in the back. It was interference. There was all that fun
it was
stuff.
quiet. You could hear them grunting and
Yeah. This is, you know, put it this way. This would be a match for Mick Foley. This would have been a perfect match for the Mixter,
I was
at least.
yeah. I don't know how to rate that AJ match, but the KO Seth on first watch, I'd have to give it another watch. But on first watch, if we're using the old Meltzer system, me personally, I think it's in that 4.25 range. 4.5.
I'm sorry. Is out of 5 stars?
Out of 5, the old school Meltzer.
Oh, okay.
Before he had it 7.25 or whatever.
Deal.
Which threw off the scoring. Like now the scoring is all confusing.
No problem.
Like, are you gonna go back and fix those old fucking scores? Because
no. But
like,
I
if
do.
this is 7.5. Now you got to go back to these 5-star matches and bring them to 6.5 or whatever it is. Anyway.
No, I agree. But but I do agree what you're saying. We're not done with this one yet. We would have to go back and watch it over again.
Yeah, I have to watch everything again
we missed
if I'm gonna rate them.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I say that too, because throughout the show and throughout the matches, I was texting you gentlemen, I was texting Joe.
I was cooking.
So, excuse me.
I was cooking.
You were cooking. Yeah. So we were kind of distracted. I think we would have to go back and rate these matches once again. So our next match is going to be the opening match. The opening match, Bliss and Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors. Sell it like a drunk man. Lou, what are your thoughts on this match? I thought this was a great opening match. Very fast paced, very aggressive. I thought Kairi Sane was amazing in this match. And I'm kind of shocked because I was really going for the Kabuki Warriors, and they didn't pull it off. What are your thoughts?
I thought the match was actually really good. I thought that it was exactly what an opening match needed to be. You know, and under these circumstances, obviously there's no audience, so you're talking about the wrestlers having to do more verbal communication so that there can be, you know, some kind of background noise. I thought that the Kabuki Warriors came out looking really good, both of them. You know, they used it was a very basic match, and again, I'm going to go back to the commentary. I loved what JBL said when the Kabuki Warriors came out, and they said, Michael, these are two great individual champions that have melded into an incredible team. It was one of those things when I saw that, I was like, that is putting them over huge as the tag team champions. Now with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, I thought that they actually worked really, really well. And I thought that this match, they actually featured Nikki Cross a lot. And it also came through in the commentary. I think that really the whole purpose of the match was designed to actually get Nikki Cross over as the star of this particular match. Again, I go back to, you know, when the original prediction that I had with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss winning, and it was only because I think that the Kabuki Warriors are going to be working less as a tag team and are going to probably branch off back into singles action, particularly with Asuka, because I think that, you know, she's been positioned really well as a singles for the last several months, even though she's been one half of the tag team champions. So now it kind of gives them a stronger reason to move forward with her as a single, even though I don't think the Kabuki Warriors are ever going to officially break up, but you're going to be seeing less and less of them working as a team and more of them working as singles. So I thought it was a great match. I enjoyed it. You know, the win was exactly what it was supposed to be. A lot of back and forth stuff. To a certain degree, you know, there may have been some moments where I thought that they did too much, you know, in terms of an opening match. It just seemed like a lot of false finishes, but none of them seemed, you know, out of place or silly. Everything was done well, and I enjoyed the match. I thought it was really good.
No, I agree. I think they. I mean, it says here that they win 15 minutes. I thought maybe that was probably 5 minutes too long, but yeah, I do agree. I think all four girls just threw it out the park. What a great way to open up this show and give people hope in saying, "Oh my God, this looks like it's going to be a good show." Vic.
Well, I kind of feel bad for them because they had a really good match. That's probably the best match any of them, well, besides Oscar, any of them's had in a long time. So, well, shout out to them. They did their thing. I that was my prediction. I thought that they really like Alexa. They want her to be featured. Let's put the belt on her. They've been telling this Nikki Cross Alexa friendship story for a long time. Let's get it over with. Let's pay it off, and let Asuka branch out because she's been on top of her game. Um, and I think everyone, not just me, wants to see her as a singles. So
Yeah. Lou, what you have something to say?
Oh yeah, I will. There's a one other thing. There's two things really. One is that I really actually enjoyed the fact that they had a great tag team match, but that they also really kept it within confines of certain traditional tag team rules. They stretched certain things out, but it wasn't like incessant double teams by either side. They really did a good job of working their double teams within the referee's count of five, which looked like it would have taken a minute and a half for him to get the five.
Which is a very heelish thing
hey,
to do.
whatever works.
No, absolutely. But also, just to be, and one of the things about it is that with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss as the tag team champions, realistically, I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing the repackaged version of the Iconics come back.
Me too.
They're going to be the next team that's going to be competing against them. They'll work against makeshift teams for the next little while, but at some point, if they bring back the Iconics in some repackaged form, that's going to hopefully be a fun series of matches.
Iconics, they get it. Like everything they do pops me. I'm watching and I'm like, oh my God, that's so good. From when they choose certain outfits for big shows, their little pose. They just got to figure out how to make it work for their. I don't know. I feel like people want to like them, but their antics are a little heelish.
Well,
and they're a little, but it's funny. It's like, how do we make this work? Can you think of a team that's a babyface team that does silly things, like
New Day?
like kind of like the Iconics? Oh, like the New Day, yeah.
I mean, even Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. I think the issue with the Iconics is that when the bell rings, there seems to be a bit of a disconnect. I think that their look and their personas, they got them down in terms of a heelish comedic team. The issue that I would take on with them is that when they had them as champions and it still seemed like a comedy match and it almost seemed like the bell to bell thing, there seems to be a disconnect in terms of the aggression, and sometimes the matches didn't seem they've gotten better, but I had moments where it's like I would watch them and I'm like, I don't believe it. That's all it was. It was never an issue about them as performers or their promos or their look, because none of that is the problem. I mean, once they come on, you're immediately looking at them. They're both very attractive. When they cut on the mic, they have the Australian accent, which is very different to the American audience. So they capture your attention. They're heels, so they can say silly, corny things as heels and try to draw up some heat. But it's a matter of when the match, the bell to bell stuff, they can play, like the weak, the weak heels when the faces are getting their shine. But when it comes their turn to get the heat, it almost seemed like it just didn't seem tight enough
and believable.
Yeah, that's all it was. And the thing is, I think a team like the Iconics as heels, if they're able to perfect that, really perfect it, organically, they're going to get turned babyface because they really babyface moment.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were turned into like a heel comedy act. They needed to be real heels, like vicious heels. I agree. All right, let's get to the second match of the main card, the third match overall. Elias versus King Corbin. Pretty good match, pretty physical. They went on 9 minutes. Corbin did, you know, his heelish things. Very, very athletic, very aggressive. But it kind of shocked me. The ending, one of two matches this night, kind of shocked me. I did not see Elias going over. But they did kind of protect Corbin in a way, because he, you know, it was kind of like a screw job and finish. So I think this feud is going to continue on.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the way that this ended, only because here's the thing, right? In a match like this, I would think that Elias could have easily lost this match, and he could have lost it flat and be protected by the fact that they can use the injury angle as a way to protect him. And the thing about it is that some of the stuff that Elias did in this match are things that he should do afterwards. Meaning, when he came to the ring and then he hits him with the guitar, it almost seems like that's an action that you would do as a receipt later on, not as part of this match. He needs to come out and fight from underneath, but get beat. And I think that to a certain degree, he had this flurry and this aggression, and you know, it almost seemed like he was too fresh, even though he was injured. And you get, you know, when the way that they showed, you know, they filmed it, him getting tossed off that balcony, you know, the fact that he was even competing, you know, in this match should have been like the storyline of the match.
Correct.
The fact that he beat Corbin, no matter how he did it, if he cheated or whatever, you know, listen, I just thought that was the wrong call. You know, Elias should have been able to lose this match. He could have been protected, and then when they do TVs again, Elias can then get his heat back, and then you can kind of retell the story with Elias being quote unquote fresher or not injured. He'd be in a much better place, and then he can get the win on Baron Corbin. And if he wanted to cheat, then that's totally fine. But for this match, I don't think that was the right finish.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I was kind of hoping that Corbin. Well, we were hoping that Corbin had won this match and kind of keep him hot. You know, keep him a little hot, because, you know, regardless or not, he is actually,
get him hot. Get him hot.
You got to get him hot. I mean, really.
I mean, you know, the reason why I say like keep
He's
him
warm.
hot.
He's warm. Keep him warm.
Well, the reason why I say that he's hot, because he just got out of the feud with Roman Reigns. I mean, if that's not saying something, then I don't know what. They just took him out of this feud so Reigns, you know, can get in the world title picture. So I was just hoping with this match, like, you know, hey, let's keep him hot. You know, let's keep him rolling, even though like he went down a notch.
And unfortunately, that's the thing, is that the way that, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Vic, the way that you want to keep Baron Corbin hot, because what ends up happening is that Elias is not hot, and winning the way that he won tonight does not help Elias at all. It actually makes Corbin, you know, look bad, I think. You know, realistically, Corbin can win this match. Elias can be the sympathetic babyface, and then later on, he can get his heat back.
Yeah. That's just my point on it. I feel like, you know, this loss actually hurt him a little. I don't know, Vic.
My thing is, it's like WWE doesn't know how to put these pieces together. They tell stories. I don't know if it's because everything is so last minute, but they tell these stories that set up situations where you can get these performers out, like, and they'll keep their heat or whatever. They'll keep their momentum. Like, Elias is injured, or he should be injured during this match, and he can lose this match to a guy who's hotter than
he'll be fine, because it'd be fine because he has an excuse.
Instead, you reverse it. You give the win to Elias, who's cold as hell. So even if he goes up a little notch, Corbin isn't hot enough. This is not a big win for like Elias. No one cares that Elias won. So Corbin is not hot enough to make Elias look good. And Elias is so cold that him beating Corbin brings him down to Elias. So now we have two cold acts. When the story was already in place to let Corbin win in a nasty way, he should have hit him with a fucking guitar.
Yeah, but that's
on the ribs.
Like,
and
you're actually saying everything I'm trying to say. It's like,
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, it brought him down a little bit, which is why I keep this argument, you know, that Corbin was hot, and I wanted him to stay hot by having this big win at WrestleMania. I don't know what was the point of them having him to take this loss, because it was like Lou said. Lou, you said earlier, man, like this, it didn't make or got Elias hot and then have him, up and running. It just gave Corbin a reason, like, I'm gonna get my revenge on you and I'm gonna hurt you.
I mean, and that's unfortunate.
Now, but like you were saying, had it been nice that they would have had Corbin go over and then Elias at the end, wham, hit him with the guitar as a receipt, like saying this is not over yet. A-hole.
Yeah, like Corbin could hit him. Corbin can get the win with the guitar, the same guitar, hit him in the ribs. Elias should have came out with no shirt on, taped ribs. Let's hit him in the ribs with this guitar. And then at the end of the match, you do this show that Elias has fire, like, motherfucker.
That's right.
You cheated me out of this shit. Go get that same guitar and crack him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Lou said. You get the receipt with the guitar and be like, here, man, it's not over yet. Me and you're not done.
And everyone is elevated.
Yeah,
I had no problem with the spot. I had no problem with the guitar spot. I just had an issue in where they placed it. That shit in the beginning.
Yeah. I agree. So, on a rate from this match, 5-star, as we're gonna go. We're not doing a 1 to 10. Vic.
I don't know. It's somewhere in the middle, from 2.5 maybe. I wasn't blown away, and it doesn't make any sense for me. So, whatever. Nobody has terrible matches anymore. It's rare that anyone has 1-star matches. Everyone is too good. There's so much talent in the wrestling world. Whether it be because you're very athletic or you're really physically strong and can do cool shit like that, or there's the smart performers. No one's having really horrible matches. But because of this finish and who won, and they didn't take advantage of stories they already put in place, 2.5, 2.
All right, Lou.
Yeah, I'd probably have to go in the same category, only because, again, this was a solid match. There was nothing wrong with it. I just thought that it's a match that it's probably a more typical match for Baron Corbin, maybe slightly better for Elias, only slightly better for him. But again, I just thought that the finish, they just didn't take advantage of what they had already laid the groundwork for, and I just thought that the ending made no sense. It just was like, okay, it just felt funny.
Yeah. I give this match, like around the same round, about 2 stars. It was, it was a good match. It wasn't a bad match. It kept me engaged. It just, like you guys said, the ending just fell flat. It didn't make any sense at all. I think Corbin should have came out with the win. But anyway, let's
wait. I know you want to go to the next match, but I feel like a better segue is, since this match didn't make any sense, Braun Strowman winning this title to me makes zero sense.
Well, that's what I said. Like at the beginning of this match, I was like, this is one of 2 matches that kind of.
So let's go straight into that, please.
You want to jump into that one?
Yes, please. Because that's some bullshit. Unless WWE had no choice.
Okay. Exactly.
Work anymore.
We really don't know. Okay.
We don't know. But I'm sorry, you should have had this shit figured out.
So this match, so we're gonna jump right into the Universal Title match with your boy Braun Strowman defeats Goldberg in 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Wow, that was typical, 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah,
oh my goodness! I thought the match was a little longer than that. Holy
typical Goldberg match. Spear, jackhammer, walking right back to the locker room. Shock of the night. That's all I'm gonna say. This was a very shock of the night.
But not in a good way.
Yeah, I didn't think Strowman is. I don't think he was ready yet. I think like you said, Vic, WWE maybe was in a desperate situation where Goldberg maybe was saying, "Hey guys, I'm not gonna work for a couple of months," and the WWE said, damn it, we're going to have to take the title off of you. We did not want to do that. We were hoping, with Reigns out, we wanted to put the title on Reigns, but we were hoping that we would come up with some type of deal to keep you and maybe have you do a couple of appearances and maybe have like one pay-per-view match before SummerSlam. And Goldberg probably just put him on the wall and said, "Hey guys, no, take the title off me," and that's what I think happened. I think they panicked and they said, "Well, we might as well just put the title on Braun." But I'm rating this match right now your typical Goldberg match, 1 out of 5 stars. It was just one, like truck run after another. I don't think it makes sense.
And that can be
Vic,
good.
you want to go?
That can be good. I don't
Oh
mind.
no.
I
I'm
don't
not.
mind
I'm
that.
not saying it's bad. It's just
Not when it doesn't make sense.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just it's your typical Goldberg match. Like spear, jackhammer, and
I would have gave this shit.
I
would have gave this shit 4. I would have gave this shit 4 stars if Goldberg got the win.
I gave it 1 out of 5, and the reason why, because it was just like it was just a truck wreck after another. I do give Goldberg. I do give Braun a lot of credit. WWE kept up the strong after I don't know how many spears. What was it? Did you guys keep count? I think it was 4.
It goes 4.
It was 4, right? Yeah. So they kind of kept Braun a little strong.
Kept him strong. He won the match.
He won the match. He won the title. So it's like they kept them real strong. I just see
too little, too late.
Well, here's the thing. This is here's the deal, right? This is one of those types of matches to where you're kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place for this reason, because realistically, Bill Goldberg would have probably been better fit to continue being champion up until it was time, until things calmed down and Roman Reigns Roman Reigns to win the title. Because the thing is with a guy like Braun Strowman is, yes, putting the belt on Strowman is shocking, and just that alone has already raised his stock up exponentially. The issue becomes is that he's been featured and positioned as a babyface, and the thing that's going to end up happening is what's going to end up happening when things go back to normal, and we're presuming that Roman Reigns will be the next opponent. He's the next guy in line. How are you going to be able to keep Strowman strong when presumably he's just there to keep the title warm for the next guy who still won the championship had Roman Reigns actually worked the show? So there's some real nuances here. I don't think that it's really befitting to anybody. Strowman was put in a bad position anyway, because if he went, like he won the title tonight, which congratulations to Braun, he won the title. But now it's kind of like, all right, what do we do with him in the future? Which I think WWE has some time to figure that out. Had he lost, it would have been like, all right, well, that's kind of like what we were expecting. And then it's just like, all right, back to the drawing board. So I think this may have been a more positive situation to put the belt on Strowman, because they can at least try to rehab him as champion, versus having him go in there and just do the job to Goldberg, like would have probably been more typically expected, considering that he was a last-minute replacement. So like I said, it's a really bad case scenario. No matter how this would have shooken out, somebody would have been unhappy. So if Goldberg is not going to be featured, and we're like, okay, moving forward, we could put it with Strowman, then he could probably hold on to the title for a little while, kind of establish himself. And then once he eventually drops the title to whoever he drops the title to, at least he could be partway rehab. So like that, when he moves on to the next program he works, then he's going to be in a stronger position than the way he has been positioned for the last few months.
You want to know what else, besides most of the wrestlers in WWE, you know what else is cold? The titles. The titles are also fucking cold. This title cannot help Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman has to help himself. Hopefully they come up with some. They got to come up with some amazing ideas to make me care about Braun Strowman. You know who really hurts, and it's probably whatever. It's nothing you can do because of what's going on. But Roman's the one that's gonna lose in the end, because everyone wanted to see Roman beat Goldberg. You finally had someone that Roman was gonna face, that the fans were not gonna roll their eyes. They were not gonna boo. They were not gonna boo.
And I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. And when you say everybody, who are you referring to?
Everybody and their mama wanted to see.
I don't mean to cut you off. I don't know. I kind of saw this match kind of going the direction of Brock and Reigns at WrestleMania 34, I really felt that, the fans were going to hijack this match and we're just
I do not think so. You think that, Lou?
crap on it because nobody wants to see these two as champions. Nobody wants to see Goldberg as champion because this generation has been accustomed to, like, we want to see, like, in-ring performances. We want to see some high flying. We want to see flips. We want to see this. Goldberg is just an ass kicker.
I think the fans like Goldberg. The fans like Goldberg until the match he had with the Fiend. Once he beat the Fiend in the fashion that he beat the Fiend, Goldberg all of a sudden became like a.
But that's my argument. Like I feel like the fans were going to shit on this match. The minute I saw this match set up, I said fans are going to hijack this match. The fans are not going to like it.
I don't think so. I think Reigns. I think when Reigns got in Goldberg's face, people were excited. Like, yes, this is the guy that we want to see Roman beat.
No.
Roman beat anybody, like all these other guys.
I was excited too, man. But these hardcore fans are hard to freaking convince, man.
No, I get it, but trust me, I haven't seen that much Roman hate.
I haven't either, but I just felt like this was the time that the fans were gonna say, we don't care for any of you two. I really thought that like we were gonna hear like you both suck.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. Because remember, Roman, you're not having a 2-minute match with Roman. Roman does not play that shit. It doesn't matter who you are.
I mean, it certainly wasn't going to be a 2-minute and 10-second match.
Not with Roman.
But not with Roman Reigns. But the one thing about it is with Roman Reigns versus Goldberg, I think the reason why the fans would be able to get into it is that you're talking about, two big stars in two different generations. Now, I don't think that this match is actually never going to take place. I just think that it's going to be revisited once all this, once the COVID-19 thing gets better and we all go back to, things go back to some level of normal where wrestling matches can be, take place in front of a live crowd. I think this match will be revisited again. And the thing is that if this match is revisited, and let's just say that Roman Reigns is not the champion, let's just say that Braun Strowman holds on to the Universal title for, a nice lengthy amount of time as a rehab assignment for him. I think that you can have a match between Goldberg and Roman Reigns, make that like a number one contenders match. You got to have some stakes to it. And then you can have Roman Reigns get the big win. And then that can kind of be the transition to moving Goldberg out. Or if let's just say that they would want to do this match maybe in January as part of the Royal Rumble match, the Royal Rumble show, and then have Roman Reigns as the champion, then you basically have the title match. It's just obviously the belt is, on a different guy going in. But this match will be done. It's just a matter that under the circumstances, it wasn't done here at WrestleMania. But I do think that at some point, Goldberg and Roman Reigns will be revisited. Because you know what? Because the thing about it is, whether the fans, quote unquote, are going to enjoy it or not in the live audience, you got to understand, man, that's a marquee matchup. That's money. And the thing is that no matter what, when you put the name Bill Goldberg out, it still has a lot of cachet and it still holds a lot of power, and even if his matches are only, 5 minutes, 6 minutes in length, no one's out there to see a 30-minute Goldberg match. That's just not what you're there to see. You're there to get the spears, the jackhammers, and just,
walking back.
Man, thank you, man. 1, 2, 3. Like, that's what you're there to see. And, as long as he has that, he's got the look and the intensity. I don't need to see a 20, 30-minute match from Goldberg. I think that would be completely counterproductive to his character.
Agree. All right. I got a 1 out of 5.
This is how I feel.
There you go, brother.
Yeah, 1 out of 5. I'm with Julio. What's next?
Lou.
Out of 5. I'll take it. Out of 5. Out of 5. What's next?
Out of 5.
Yeah. Come on. Let's continue this. Becky, the women's match, Becky and Shayna, just as I predicted, this was gonna be a relatively short match.
Son of a bitch. Just rub it in our faces.
It was 8 minutes and 30 seconds. It was less than 10 minutes.
Good
And
time. It was.
yeah, it ended real fast. Shayna did look good. She did a couple of very powerful moves, just like she did in the Elimination Chamber. Becky took a beating, but just at the end, it was I don't even remember. Was it a scoop up win? A
No,
pin? I don't
It
even
was a
remember.
reversal of the choke. No.
Oh, was it a reversal? Oh, okay, right. It was a reversal of the choke, and then that was it. And like I said in the last video, they're keeping her warm for the eventual return of Ronda Rousey. Becky now can you have this in her forte of saying, I defeated two MMA fighters, real legit fighters. Nobody can f with the man or whatnot. But yeah, I knew she was gonna win. She's gonna keep on to the title, and she's holding it warm for Ronda. I'm sorry, Lou. We're down to 9 minutes, so I don't think we're gonna get to finish this.
Well, no, I mean, I just thought with this particular match, it was exactly what I thought it would be. The only thing that kind of surprised me a little bit was the fact that the way they structured the match after Becky Lynch got the initial flurry on Shayna Baszler, that she actually got as much offense as she did. I thought that she would, the story would be her really fighting from underneath after Shayna Baszler took the initial flurry, but it didn't. The match was pretty even, which I kind of thought it was like, okay, this is not exactly the way you want to, that I would have structured the match. It's not that I want to make Becky look bad. It's just a matter that when you beat the monster, Shayna Baszler, if that's the way you're going to position her, they did it right because basically Shayna Baszler beat herself. She was just so enthralled with with her chokehold move,
And it backfired on her.
that she just got beat. Becky Lynch used a wrestling move and Baszler didn't release the hold. You could tell on the look on Baszler's face that she was just like, I screwed up. I made a mistake. But I think that the storytelling getting to that point, the match was a little more even than I would have liked. I would have liked the match to be a little more dominated by Shayna Baszler, only because when that wrestling move comes in, it's basically Becky Lynch outsmarting her and essentially escaping with the title. I thought that the match felt a little even to where Becky Lynch beat her, and that's not what I don't think that that's the way this match should have been structured. It should have been more like Becky Lynch escaped with the title so that you can continue that story and then be able to have another return match with Shayna Baszler, which either you pull the trigger and give the belt to Shayna Baszler, or then Becky Lynch gets a more convincing win.
Yeah. So so what you're saying, it should have been like like a lopsided match where Becky just getting lucky and that win. Kind of.
I would have probably booked it like a 70-30 match for Shayna Baszler, where
would Becky have some type of roll up or whatever.
Like Becky Lynch would get her stuff in, but if she tried to put the disarmer submission, Shayna Baszler would break out of it immediately. Or she wouldn't even get to the ropes. Like she'd wrestle her way out of it. Yeah. And it's designed the way that is designed. It's basically designed for Becky Lynch to be like, oh my God, how am I going to beat this woman? And then she got the win. But it's more designed to where Becky Lynch got this look on her face like, I escaped with this championship tonight, so that when she cuts promos or any other work later on, she can't really be mouthing off, because the reality is that, yes, she won the match, but she technically escaped by the skin of her teeth.
Yeah.
And the only way you can really make that, that kind of a match work is that it's got to be a little more lopsided. And I thought it was closer than I would have liked it to from my flavor.
I agree. Vic?
I don't like this match. The match is okay from a technical standpoint, right? But it's like Becky has been your biggest star, your most popular star for like, I don't know how long, probably for like a year. And then you tell this story, I don't know if it's on purpose or not, that she's acting like a dick every week on television. So I'm thinking she's going to have a come to Jesus meeting, right? Because that's the story. That's what I'm seeing, right? I'm like, okay, yeah. Becky's getting ahead of herself. Her ego is through the roof. She needs to get her ass beat. She either needs to get her ass beat or she needs to lose the title.
And that's where, Exactly.
She got
And that's
both
where
things
I'm coming
wrong.
from.
She didn't get her ass beat. She didn't lose the title. What was the point of her acting like a jerk? What was the point of Shayna burying a bunch of people? What was the point of all that? If we're just going to have a 50-50 match, people couldn't tell that Becky got out. That story here that Lou's saying got out by the skin of her teeth because it was a 50-50 match. They were going back and forth. Shayna didn't look that scary to me.
That's the point.
So she buried Asuka for nothing.
I mean, no, but the thing is that that's the point. That's the point of the match in terms of the psychology, because realistically, Shayna Baszler could have taken the loss and looked great had she basically taken Becky Lynch's lunch for the majority of the match, you know, and it just the thing is that the way that the match finished is the way that a finish should look for a match when the babyface wins by the skin of their teeth after basically taking a pounding for the majority of the match. It can't be 50-50 and then have a win that almost looks like, oh my gosh, I escaped this one with the belt.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I rate the match 2 out of 5. I counted, the physicality and Shayna Baszler's brutal beating of Becky.
Yeah, this was some of Becky's best in-ring work, but the story was shitty. Piece of shit story. Don't like it. So I'm there with the 2 stars. I'm okay with that.
Lou?
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 2.5, only because I thought that both girls worked really hard. And yes, this is one of Becky Lynch's technically better matches. She really did a good job of leading. It's just a matter that, again, it was just too even, and it shouldn't have been even for the way that this story, at least the way that I thought the story should have been told.
2 matches left. Sammy and Daniel Bryan. Ta-da! I won. I toot my own horn. Sammy was I just feel that they weren't going to take the title off him yet. I feel he's too hot. He's on a roll right now. He has a great posse behind him. And in the last couple of years, I feel like the Intercontinental title is designed for, the heel. And Daniel Bryan, he really, again, I've said it before and I say it again, he does not need a title right now. This time in his career, I think he's doing fine with it. So as far as the match goes, it was pretty it was pretty physical. I don't remember much about it. I have to watch it over, but yeah, I'm kind of happy that Sammy won this match. Lou?
I don't agree. I mean, here's the thing, right? I thought that they worked snug, and Sami Zayn did exactly what he needed to do from a psychology standpoint. Again, like I said yesterday, he's been positioned as a manager, as a weasel and a scaredy cat, even though people who have seen his work in the past know that he's a fantastic wrestler and a great in-ring worker. It's just a matter that, again, he showed it tonight in terms of being able to play his role. I think the thing that frustrated me so much about watching that match is that, again, it doesn't, to me, it kind of bothers me to see a guy that is essentially being positioned as a manager legitimately beat Daniel Bryan, a former world champion, and he didn't cheat.
But Lou, did you notice something though? Did you notice the way they structured this match? It was exactly what Becky should have did, but in reverse.
Yes.
Sammy got his ass beat. Beat handedly.
Yes, but the issue, that the umbrance that I take with that is that he beat Daniel Bryan without cheating. And the thing is, the way that JBL was positioning, he's like, oh, the punch that beats you is the one that you don't see. And I'm like, that's fine. But the thing is that I would rather have, like kind of like a bit of a schmoz to where, you have Cesaro, Nakamura, and Gulak, causing problems on the outside, and that gets Daniel Bryan distracted. Because the thing is that it almost makes it look like, hey, Sami Zayn can match up with Daniel Bryan. And I'm like, the reality is, yes, he can. But the way that this match was positioned and structured, it shouldn't be that way. And that's what kind of frustrated me. Is just like, hey, Sami Zayn took a tail whooping throughout the whole course of the match. The difference is that he's not the babyface. He's the heel. So he's supposed to cheat the win. Versus in the Becky Lynch match, Becky Lynch could have gotten her tail whipped throughout the whole match, but as the babyface, she uses a wrestling move and just escapes by the skin of her teeth. That's the difference. I just thought that the ending was like, because I'm like, all right, what can Daniel Bryan now be able to say to get heat back and build towards a rematch? Nothing, because he got beat. Yeah, that's the thing. It's a matter of like how do you move the story forward? If Sami Zayn would have cheated, then of course that's easy. Daniel Bryan can just say, "Hey man, you cheated. You needed your boys to help you, blah blah blah," and you can keep a story going one way or another. But when he beats him essentially clean in quotations, that was like again, it's not that he won, it's the way he won. That's all. That's the only thing.
I'm kind of okay with it. I wanted Daniel Bryan to win this match.
Me too.
And I also didn't want Daniel Bryan to whip him because I wanted Sami Zayn to start to establish himself. I don't know, during our preview, our predictions, I was saying I think this is the perfect match for Sami Zayn to establish himself as a legitimate technical stud, right? One of the best technical wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
And that's not what this match was. This match was Daniel Bryan outclassing Sami Zayn for 95% of the match and getting caught at the end. I think you can tell a story with that only because it's Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, it's like a fighter's fighter. You know, he's going to say, okay, look, I kicked your ass, and you know I kicked your ass. You caught me, but now I know about, the haluva kick, and you're not going to catch me again. Let's do it again. I know I can beat you because I was whipping your ass all match long. I did want Bryan to win, and I wanted Sami to do more. But okay, I think they told her if they're going to keep it going, and Daniel Bryan is going to, try to figure Sami out and how to avoid the haluva kick, if that's the story,
okay.
Like how good of a technical wrestler is Daniel Bryan really? Can he figure out this devastating move that put him away?
Yeah.
I'll be okay with it if that's the story they tell. If they leave it alone and they don't say anything and they go, I beat you, bye.
There's a problem.
Yeah.
That doesn't help Bryan at all.
As far as the rate of this match, I rated 3 out of 5. I'm very biased. I thought it was a good match. It's very physical. It told a good story, and I feel it had the right ending.
No, I mean I'd give it a 3.5 only because of the fact that the story that was told was exactly what needed to be. Like I said, I didn't like the ending, but that's okay. I'll get over that. If they can continue the story and be able to somehow make Daniel Bryan look good and keep the story going, I'm all for it.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan is doing really good work, and you're starting to see his passion for wrestling in his character. We know that Daniel Bryan's like that outside, but he's like that super technical wrestler that loves wrestling and loves it like a sport. And now you see that in his character, and that kind of almost like a wrestling nerd. And I want to see that. I want to keep seeing that. Let's keep telling that story. But he's doing really good work, and I don't want him to just lose for no reason. So let's figure something out. I gave it 3.5, but this match that combo has potential.
Oh yeah.
It said it was an ass whipping, so I can't go past 3.5. It's like it was one-sided. There was really no back and forth. This was just Daniel Bryan laying his shit in stiff.
Yeah.
It was great. That's the good thing about Sami too. He could take a good ass whipping. So 3.5.
I should have gave it higher. All right. Last
No,
match.
you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You're right, bro.
Last match. Morrison defeats Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston's triple threat match. Not surprising. I had the dark horse on this one. I had the wild card. I had the Usos only because Miz was gonna be out. I kind of thought that okay, they're just gonna take the titles off them, and I still feel in my heart they're still trying to work a New Day split. So I thought maybe they weren't going to get the title to the New Day, and besides, those guys are over. They don't really need titles. I think they're over enough. But I'm not surprised on this one. As far as the match, train wreck. That's all I'm going to say. Morrison's athleticism is just out there. Jimmy Uso you know, with I flatten you as a pancake, boy. You know, I thought it was I thought it was a nice touch to the match. I thought it was very good.
Yeah. Well, before we continue with this match, do you want to see a New Day split? I don't want to ever see them break up.
I think that's WWE's mission right now. But other than that, what you thought about the match?
I don't know. What do you want? What do you think is best?
I don't understand why. That's just that I don't understand why they would want to do that.
Let me tell you something. These three guys, they found like a needle in a haystack when it comes to this gimmick. And if you remember, before they were the New Day, Kofi's character was so boring. Big E's character was so boring. He was just a big guy. It was like, I don't really care. Kofi at least had good matches, so you cared about his matches. Xavier, I feel like, would have figured something out because he can do anything. He's so smart. He can figure out any character, play any character.
Yeah.
You can't break them up.
No, but
I know Xavier will figure it out. But Big E and Kofi can't all three of them can't keep acting like New Day characters if they break up. They gotta think of new shit.
See,
and I don't want to see that. I don't think they can do it.
I think the New Day is kind of like the Kabuki Warriors a little bit in the fact that you can branch them off, but you never officially split them up.
Reason to.
Because here's the thing, right? All three guys have been in the WWE system for a long time. People just, with Kofi Kingston, he's been in the WWE system for 12, 13 years. Big E probably close to 10, and Woods maybe 7 or 8. Like, people don't really understand like how long these guys have been in the system. All three of them they all have incredible talents as individuals. But the thing is, when you put them together as a unit, it's a perfect marriage of each one of their individual strengths and then collectively together. And listen, if WWE, and I haven't really heard of any major things about them trying to split up the New Day, but if that's even a consideration, it's like, dude, no, it's actually going to hurt. It's going to hurt all three of them in the long haul because I think that they're stronger. The sum of the parts as a unit is way stronger than them as individual pieces because we've seen them as individuals, and all three of them were, more or less floundering on the card. And then when the three of them came together as a unit, look at where they are now. They're one of the top acts in the company. So I would have no intention of splitting them up. If you want to branch them off into singles careers, you can do that. But the New Day is the New Day, and and guess what? When the stuff hits the fan, they're gonna come together, and it's like, all right, who do we need to put in check? And that's
until one of them is ready to retire. Let's say I know Kofi's much older than Big E and Xavier. If he ever wants to retire, then you can think of something for Big E and Xavier to do. Because then only one of them has to find a new character. Big E can stay himself. Xavier is good enough to find a new character. And Kofi's gonna retire. That's fine. But for now, let's keep them together. If you want to push Big E, I want to see that too. I want to see Big E be a monster babyface, getting in all the biggest, baddest guys' faces and fucking them up. I want to see that too. Kofi had his shot. I want to see Big E have his shot too, but together.
And here's the thing. I think that probably
guys, I gotta go to the bathroom. I've been like holding it for like half an hour.
What a nerd!
Yeah, man. Holy smokes! You know what, Vic? We won't edit that out. We'll just hold we'll put that in there.
Yeah, him having to go to the bathroom. We'll put that in there. I remember going to WrestleMania. Julio, were you with me? Probably. It might have been the one in Jersey.
Yeah, we all went together.
Right? Wasn't everybody going crazy for New Day? Was that one? No. That was they were going crazy for. It was all Cena sucked. It was the next time I went in New Orleans.
Yeah, I don't think New Day was
in New Orleans. In New Orleans, Jesus Christ, everything was Rusev Day and New Day chants. Everything.
Yep.
There was nothing else. There was no let's go Cena sucks. None of that. It was Rusev, New Day. Rusev, New Day. And a lot of shows that I went to were mostly New Day. It's like New Day getting all the attention. We can't split these guys up. Ever.
No, I don't think so. It's gonna in all honesty, if the New Day, if WWE really is insistent on breaking the New Day up, it's gonna probably hurt all three of those guys' careers because, like I said, they're just so much stronger as a unit in my eyes than they would be as individual talents right now.
I agree.
I think if you want to branch them off as singles, you could, but you got to keep the New Day unit, because that is the overarching act that is the New Day act is bigger than any one of the three individuals right now, and like I said, it doesn't make any sense.
There's plenty of stories to tell with the New Day. You just got to be creative. If you want to introduce friends, like maybe Kofi gets a friend, another male wrestler, and he starts to push it in his ear, tease breakups, but never break them up. But you can tease it. You can have Big E go for titles. You can have Xavier go for titles. You can switch up who's going for tags. Just so many stories. Eventually, you could turn them heel again. They haven't been heel in a long time, right?
Yeah, but even then, the fans don't want to boo them.
They don't, but they're good enough. They can figure it out. Well,
Yeah.
I know they can figure it out. But in this match, let me tell you, WWE, those sneaky bastards, tried to ruin our predictions, because as soon as I saw it was 1-1-1, I'm like, oh, wait a second now. If they, because if you know Morrison and Miz are not winning if they got to replace the Miz, right? If they got to replace the Miz and it's gonna be Morrison with a mystery partner, they're not winning.
Mm-mm.
It's you're putting the buzz on somebody else. If they were willing to change the match to a three-way
Triple
threat, okay,
yeah,
they're keeping the titles because they were willing to go to these measures to
I kind of knew when this happened. I said, "Oh man, they're not taking the titles off them." But I was so optimistic, and I kept to my guns. I said, I really thought
want chops.
if there was
them
if there was
badly.
any
That's what you
team
want.
that needed to get hot up and going was the Usos. So I figured, hey, they're gonna put the titles on them. But you know what, Vic? I was at the pizzeria waiting for my pizza to get ready when you texted and said, hey, I'm switching my predictions.
Yeah, right away. That's not fair. That's not the match I predicted on.
Well, here's the really weird thing about this match and the way that it was structured. First of all, I don't think that this match would have probably ever been done in its original intended state of all three teams. Now, this is the reason why. Because with the COVID-19 deal that's going on, think about how many people are at ringside, right? Mm-hmm. So at ringside, you would have the 6 wrestlers. The referee makes 7.
Two commentators.
The 2 announcers make 8 and 9. You probably have at least 2 cameramen there at ringside, and then you probably have a photographer for WWE.com. So you got at least a dozen people in, around the vicinity or ringside at that point. That's a no-no. So after the Miz went down, there was no way this was ever going to be a three-way tag team match. Now they made the best of it because they meaning WWE, painted themselves in a corner.
Pronouns.
Pronouns, and they did the right thing. They did the right thing by going one-on-one. Now, this match was actually a lot of fun, but it's weird to me because, again, this is a frustration that I have with John Morrison as a performer. Listen, the dude.
Bring out the shovels.
No, not at all. Not at all. Listen, the guy looks like $1 million. He's outstanding talent. Just all the things he can do physically are out of this world, man. He's just so good. The issue that I take with him is that when I saw Kofi Kingston and Jimmy Uso laying it in, I could believe that those 2 dudes are tough and that they would wear you out if you got silly with them in the street. I look at a guy like John Morrison, and it looks like if you got up in his face, he's gonna do like some parkour triple somersault thing on you. And it's just an issue of like, dude, you're so athletic, but part of me doesn't believe that he's tough. And I'm like, and damn it, I know he is, because the bumps that he took in that match, you got to be tough. But it's just that there's something about him with his offense and his overall presentation that he just doesn't look like a tough guy in that situation where it's like, dude, you're defending your titles. And it just looks like you're there to kind of be a great bump machine. But in that situation, especially when you're on offense and you're laying it in, dude, lay it in and talk smack. And even if it seems a little out of character for you, you got to peel that layer, because Morrison he's not a newbie. he's already got more than a decade's worth of experience on him. This is something that has always kind of bothered me. I was able, I gave him a lot of benefit, back in like 2005 or whatever, because you're still learning. But 15 years later, it's just kind of like, all right, now it's a gripe that I have with him, and like, dude, get that aggression out and just be aggressive.
There's definitely something off about. I've always felt there's something off. I don't know what it is. I don't know if, like you said, if it's an aggression thing or he's not believable. But even in Impact, I was like, there's something off in WWE. There's something off. Like, he doesn't fit in any promotion to me. It's like he's not like, he doesn't really have that indie style. He doesn't really have the WWE style. It's like something in between. It's something weird. The best Johnny, whatever you want to call him, John Morrison, I've ever seen was in Lucha Underground. They really figured out that character, and I don't know if it's because the way it was shot and all the editing, and it was more like a movie, it's more cinematic.
Yeah, is Lucha Underground still around?
It's done. And you know what? I love Lucha Underground, but I'm gonna say thank God, because they had some weird business practices. They had people in contracts for 7 years, 8 years, and they were only working for a couple of weeks. And they had some talented people on lockdown that I was concerned. Oh my God, these guys are never gonna get out of these contracts.
Yeah, but that's bad. But that's bad on
Listen, you shouldn't sign those contracts. That's really what it is.
Exactly.
But you take a desperate wrestler. You tell them you're gonna be on television. It's like the music business, You get someone who's young and dumb, and they want that quick buck, and they want to be famous. You can trick them, and that's what they did.
Yeah, they did do that. So as far as the rate of this match, I give it a 4 out of 5. It was physical.
So you liked it?
Train wreck. Yeah. I really did enjoy this match. 4 out of 5. The train wreck, the physicality, the trash talking, the athleticism from John Morrison. And the creativity of Kofi. He never tends to disappoint in these type of matches. Like in the ladder matches, the tables matches, the Royal Rumble, he always gives it his all, and very proud of him. So I give this match a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought this match was great. Possibly the match of the night for night 1.
I think I gotta watch it again because I missed a few spots. So that's when I was cooking. So I was running back and forth.
All right, Mr. Mom.
Everything that I was seeing looked really, really good and fun and entertaining and exciting. And having just the 3 guys in a ladder match, there was a lot of room to work with. So that was like a little pleasant surprise.
No, it was good.
I'm gonna go 3 and 3/4 for now. I'm gonna rewatch it, see if I like it a little more than I thought. Maybe I missed a few key points. But I don't, storyline wise, I don't really have anything to add. I think it was too early to take the belt off Miz and Morrison. They're being entertaining, they're fun, they're heels, they're nasty. And I kind of don't want to see the Usos or the New Day right now chasing the title. I kind of want fresh talent. Like, let Miz and Morrison take out some fresh opponents for now, and then we'll figure something out.
Yeah, agree.
I mean, it's funny. It's funny because with Miz and Morrison as the champions, this would actually not be a bad spot for a team like Fandango and Tyler Breeze to get involved. Only because, and the reason why is because of the fact that since Miz and Morrison are being presented as more like the Hollywood type, and I think that might be part of the issue with Morrison is that it's a little too pretty and too fancy. And just for pro wrestling, it's like, listen, you can be pretty and it can be all whatever. It's like, you can compare him to like a Shawn Michaels from an athletic position, but the thing is that
he's more athletic than Shawn.
But here's the thing though, with the matches with Shawn Michaels, even though they were beautiful, poetic, just beautiful.
And they were, yeah.
But there's an edge. There's an edge to Shawn.
But there's an aggression There was an aggression level that Shawn had in his matches.
Yeah, the matches with Shawn were so magical and believable.
But yes, but the thing is that with Shawn is that as beautiful as his matches were in terms of his athleticism, he still had an aggressive side to him that I've never ever truly seen from John Morrison in any incarnation that he's had wrestling for any promotion. It seems like his matches are it's beautiful, it's great, beautiful athletic choreography, and the dude is tough and he's athletic. I mean, but it's a matter that aggressive side, if he can just get that out somehow and not be so, make it try to look all pretty and perfect, I think that I would be more into him because he'd be more believable to me. That's the reason why him and The Miz.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
That's why him and The Miz as a team work out really well, because with The Miz, even when Miz gets aggressive, it still sometimes doesn't look all that believable either.
Yeah.
And Miz
that affects me because I want Miz to be like a top guy.
Yeah, and Miz is a good mouthpiece too. Like he can talk on behalf of.
Well, these guys play. No, Morrison is actually finding. Morrison's finding his mic working with Miz, and Morrison's doing a really fun job.
Oh no, he's doing a great job. But as far as them
Miz
I think
is
Miz,
one of the best.
Miz more,
of course.
I think Miz is the better talker here. I mean, let's be honest.
Yes.
No, of course.
Yeah. But I'm not saying that Morrison is a bad talker, but
Miz is helping him.
Like he's not sort of in the same.
This is the best talking I've seen from Morrison.
Oh no, I agree.
Miz is clearly helping him.
Yeah, he's really improved.
and maybe helping him with his confidence or something. I don't know what it is. But let me say something about Morrison. Morrison, I think it's fine. What's happening, like whatever he's missing, that's fine. But that's why he'll be in the middle.
Yeah.
If he wants to be a top guy in WWE, there's something missing, and he needs to figure that out if that's something he wants. And he also needs to change his character a little bit because he's been the same character for 20 years.
Yeah,
talk about an anti-Jericho.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Like if there's characters.
Exactly. Yeah, if there's anybody in the wrestling business right now that changes with the time, it's Chris Jericho.
Everyone should be adding layers or removing layers.
Yeah,
or switching up their hair, switching up a shirt, switching up the anything.
Their trunks, their gear, whatever.
Yeah, switch something. Morrison has been using the same hair, same glasses, same jacket, same gear, same wrestling, same moves.
Yeah.
Everything is the same. Slam tap.
He has that 70s look that he doesn't want to let go,
It's like, let's add stuff to it though. It's fine. Let's add, adding. And layer.
And the thing about it is that when you take a look at a guy like Jericho, Jericho is the kind of guy that gotta give him credit, because as he's gotten older, the thing that Jericho has really worked on more than anything else is psychology and mic work, because he's not gonna be able to work the same match athletically than he did when he was 25 years old. When he's 49 now, it's not gonna happen. However, I find Chris Jericho to be way more engaging, and whenever he's on AEW now, I see myself wanting to watch him.
The Undertaker was choking AJ Styles.
How did it make you feel?
He's like, he had an AJ Styles.
It made me cry.
Yeah, you don't choke people. Why? Do you really like AJ?
Because AJ Styles is one of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah, and I understand why, because he's very good. He's very good.
He's phenomenal.
Bye.
Oh,
I'm gonna watch Gary Teacher 3D.
Bye, Mama.
Bye.